It's been a tough season so far for the Georgia Bulldog running back room as they have been banged up pretty much throughout the season. But this week, Kirby Smart had a very positive update on his running backs. We're thinking that we could see Trevor Etienne in the SEC championship game. Not sure if he'll play against Georgia Tech, but he was asked about his two bowling ball running backs, right? The two bruisers, Roderick Robinson, who we haven't seen all year due to a lingering, I believe it's a turf toe issue, and Branson Robinson, who we saw a little bit earlier this year, still banged up. I'm not sure he's running with confidence still, but those are guys that Georgia was going to rely upon in a big way this year. But injuries and lack of confidence with Branson Robinson, I think, has really held them back. And of course, Trevor Etienne's been out here and there dealing with some injuries. Obviously missed the Clemson game for another reason, but ideally, Georgia would like all these guys back. I don't know if we're going to see Roderick Robinson or Branson Robinson over the next 2 weeks, but when Kirby was asked about him, he said, quote, "We'll know more today," which was Monday. He said that Monday. He said, Branson and Robinson have both looked good in the last week in terms of picking up their pace, running, cutting. We're going to progress them today. They're going to do more today than they have. They ran. I guess you all saw them Saturday run. They did more yesterday, and I think he was talking about Sunday. We're day-to-day with those guys, but there's a possibility that they'll come back, so we're excited about them getting back to work. They don't need those guys against Georgia Tech, but yeah, for Georgia's running back room and that running game to be at its best, they need those two tackle-breaking machines. I mean, Roderick Robinson was trucking Florida State Seminoles in that Orange Bowl. I mean, after that performance, you're thinking this guy is bound for a massive 24 season in year two. Haven't seen him. Nate Frazier gives you that burst, that acceleration, that electric ability, and Trevor Etienne does as well. Those guys, are shifty, kind of explosive backs, whereas Roderick Robinson, those are your chain movers. Those are the tough, physical backs that wear on a defense and break tackles and are great around the goal line, and Georgia hasn't had those guys all year. And that's why I say, sources told us all summer, Georgia's going to run through teams. They haven't, and a big part is because of the injuries and because the lack of, explosiveness in the run game allows defenses to kind of narrow in on Georgia's rushing attack, and they don't have their two big backs. Anyway, I think it's positive that they are getting closer and closer to returning, but if Trevor Etienne is healthy and Nate Frazier is healthy, I still think you're going to see those two carry the load over the next 2 weeks. But if they get to the playoff and get that bye with a win in the SEC championship game, that's when I think, okay, maybe we'll start to see Branson Robinson and Roderick Robinson come back. I'm more excited about Roderick Robinson. When he's healthy, that's 230 pounds of just train. I mean, that is a big, hungry pup who is looking to eat. Hopefully he'll be able to when he gets back. Kirby also talked about Georgia Tech, obviously, and what this rivalry means to him and his players. Obviously, Brent Key, the Georgia Tech head coach, has said multiple times now, "I hate Georgia. That's our Super Bowl." It's basically what he said. This game means everything to them. If he beats Georgia, they could put a Brent Key statue up right outside the stadium. That's all he has to do is beat Georgia once, and they'll never fire him. They're at that point. They are so desperate for a win. They could lose to everyone else. If they beat Georgia, it's a successful season. Whereas Kirby Smart said, yeah, we don't get emotional about Georgia Tech. I mean, they're used to beating Georgia Tech. There's no excuses for the Georgia Bulldogs to lose to Georgia Tech. There's just none. And I know he's doing a good job. And Georgia Tech's getting better and better. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But he was asked about Aaron Philo, who's a kid from Athens. I covered him. He was Brock Vandegrift's backup quarterback at Prince Avenue. Was very, very good. Pass-happy system. Broke a ton of records. I mean, just had a phenomenal high school career. I wasn't sure. He was a good quarterback. I didn't know if he could be that guy for Georgia Tech, but he showed a lot of promise and ran through an atrocious NC State defense. There's no way they should have let Aaron Philo, freshman running back, just slice and dice them for a game-winning touchdown. That's just terrible football by NC State. They just shut down the season after that last week. That was awful. But Aaron Philo is getting better. Kirby said, great poise. He's got confidence. He broke the Georgia high school passing record, most passing yards ever. That's a lot of really good quarterbacks who he surpassed to get to that record. So he's got confidence. He's throwing the ball a lot. It's not like it's foreign to him. They've got some really good weapons. Their backs catch the ball well out of the backfield. They've got speed on the perimeter. They do a really good job in the run game, so they keep you honest. But he's played really well, played with confidence. And to watch him play a game like that he did against Thursday night, he was at his best when it was needed. He's going to have to play better than his best if he wants to beat the Dogs. I cannot see him, a freshman quarterback, coming into Athens in that environment against that defense, who's playing with a chip on their shoulder, I guess, after giving up 200-plus rushing yards. I think they're going to be locked in both against the run and against the pass. They're not going to let this kid throw wild on them. That would be extremely beyond concerning if Georgia's defense lets up a bunch of yards through the air to Aaron Philo. Good kid. He's getting better. He's a better quarterback at this level than I thought. Just a freshman. Dude's not beating the Dogs. He's not beating the Dogs in Athens. But Brent Key is doing it the right way, Georgia Tech. Here's what Kirby had to say. So what stood out is what he's doing is the good old-fashioned way. He's doing it the good old-fashioned way. Hard work, recruiting. They're in those same recruiting battles that we are. They're going after the best players in the state just like we are, and they're doing a better job on that front in terms of being able to recruit them, but they're still really physical. He coached with Nick Saban. He coached with George O'Leary. He's one of the best there is at managing a program and being physical. So he knows what he's doing. He's got a great staff. I mean, he's really hired a good staff, and they've got good football players. Before I go on, Christmas is right around the corner. It's right around the corner. Get your Bulldog today. Trade for a family friend, the brother, sister, aunt, uncle, anyone with a pool, anyone with an office, anyone with a front porch that pulls for the Dogs is going to want this bad boy. You can get yours today. Promo code DOGPOST. Don't forget about the promo code. The promo code is the most important part, all right? Help your boy out. Promo code DOGPOST, DAWGPOST. All the information is in the description below in this video. Get it now. You don't have to worry about Christmas next month. Get 2 of them. Get 3 of them for all your family friends. It'll be the greatest thing you ever did. Make sure you do that. The information is in the description below in this video. He also talked about Jalen Walker, Georgia's kind of breakout superstar linebacker. He's up, I think he's a finalist for the Butkus Award. Is one of Kirby Smart's favorite players. This is what he had to say about Jalen Walker. He said he's an unbelievable kid, good Christian kid, believes in his thoughts and processes, and he was raised in a wonderful family where he has a lot of confidence in himself to stand up, talk to the team, command leadership, demand respect, do things the hard way, and set a standard the right way. I mean, he's a great young man. It would be a hard measure to say what his greatest attribute is because it could be his character. He could be the ability to run, the ability to strike people and be violent and hit with a flip of the switch on the field. But he's elite at all those things. This is a kid that's very, very special person on and off the field. But he's also very talented. So I'm very honored and happy for him. He deserves that. Without a doubt, I think he's playing like one of the best linebackers in college football. Can kind of disappear at times. But when he's on and he's getting after the quarterback and he's in that zone, right? It's hard to find a better linebacker in college football because of his versatility, because he can play in space in the middle of the field, because he can play on the edge and get after the quarterback. He's extremely talented, and they're going to need him in a big, big way. And, of course, if you see me looking down at my laptop, I'm reading the Kirby Smart quotes that you can find over on DogPost. I know it's Thanksgiving week, but there's still a rivalry game on Saturday. Georgia's playing an SEC championship the week after that. So make sure you are on DogPost for all the latest news and notes about the Georgia Bulldogs, recruiting, signing days next week. So this is the time to be on DogPost. And listen, that's a great Christmas gift as well. Get your father, your husband, your son, or whoever, your wife. Your wife might love the Dogs. We love the ladies. The ladies love us. They love this channel. The women Georgia fans are as passionate as they are out there. Let me tell you. So anyone. Get a DogPost subscription for Christmas. It'll be the best thing you ever did. And get one of these bad boys too. How are your neighbors going to know that you pull for the Dogs? Right? No one pays attention to the flag. Put an American flag on your house. Greatest country in the history of the world. Not even close. But you want this bad boy on your porch. Georgia Bulldog, American flag. That's how the 5-star Georgia fans do it. But hey, they're getting a little closer to being healthy at running back. And they haven't been healthy at running back all year. So it would be nice to finally see them at full strength. No one's ever at full strength, but you get Roger Robinson back. That is another big-time weapon. in the backfield. Branson Robinson, if we can see anything close to what he was as a freshman in a backup role there, that's another weapon. I'm not sure we'll see them in the next 2 weeks, but we'll see. They are getting healthier, and that's a big, big deal. If this team is healthy and they start to click and play their best, they're going to be tough to beat in the playoffs. You got to get there first. I think if they beat Georgia Tech, they're in. There's going to be a riot at the committee's house if Georgia beats Georgia Tech, loses to Texas or Texas A&M and gets left out of the playoff committee. Burn the whole thing to the ground, the process. No one's house. Burn the process down to the ground. Burn the playoff current system down to the ground if Georgia doesn't make it in with a win over Georgia Tech. It would be just atrocious on all levels. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the website.